All right, guys. This will be hopefully the last video of the day. So we're making tomato and elbow noodles. And I told you there was two things I was going to be using that was not in the pantry. And that's hot dogs and onions. So I'm going to turn this on. I'll turn my hot dogs on. I will tell you what I usually like with this is ring bologna, but my husband hates ring bologna, so I figure we'll do hot dogs. So I'm going to take all my onions that I got left here from my freezer. We're going to use those up. And then I have quite a few onions I got to do up this weekend, and I got to thinking I got like 5 bags of frozen onions in my freezer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them really, really small that I can use in my, when I make my salsa. When we start, you know, getting our tomatoes that are grown and get them all red and whatever, I'm going to make some beautiful salsa. And so I thought, well, you know, I might as well chop up those onions that go in the salsa. So that's what I'm going to do this weekend. All right, I told you yesterday I ran out of butter. So we're going to open up a new one. There's my butter. So we're going to put butter in with these onions. I love cooking with butter. You will not find margarine in my house. I always used to use margarine, and then I found out how disgusting it truly is, and it's pretty much plastic. So I haven't used margarine for probably, I don't know, 15 years. I don't use it at all anymore. So I'm going to let this saute a little bit and let the onions get a little bit translucent. My noodles are already cooked and drained and all that good stuff. I don't know if I told you guys, Jack chopped up a bunch of onions the other day. And he kept crying. We were going to go get those buckets from Meyer to store food in, and he kept crying. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? And he's like, it's these onions. He was in such a hurry to leave with me, he forgot to wash his hands. So every time he rubbed his eyes from crying, he was rubbing more onion juice. I'm like, Jack, you can't do that, dude. You just can't do that. So I wasn't trying to be mean. I was not trying to be mean, but it was pretty funny, actually. Now, see, my mom, she always used the ring bologna. I think that's why I like ring bologna in it. She always used it. And by the way, the sweet potatoes, the last one just pinged. I was so afraid that one would not ping because it was just like not doing it, not doing it, not doing it. And I was on the phone with my husband and it went ding, and I'm like, the 10th one just went done. So all 10 did seal. So that'll be a good thing. So while we're waiting for those onions, I wrote this all on a list. I don't know if you can see it or not. So Monday we had the tuna cheese, $4.21. Now all this is for a family of 4, except for the taco soup was a family of 6. Taco soup on Tuesday, $9.33. Vegetable beef noodles on Wednesday for $4. Thursday was the chili mac. Today's the tomato noodle and hot dogs. And so I got the today prices from Walmart. The 2 cans of tomatoes would be $1.44. The hot dogs $1.18, and the noodles for 92 cents. So that came to a total of $24.08. The cake mix was $1.48, and then the bread and frosting I figured cost right about $3. So that was a grand total of $28.56 for us to feed out of our pantry all week long. And for a family of 4, I think that's pretty good, you guys. Even in this economy, I think that's really good. So we're not going to do another whole pantry week next week, but we are going to slip them in here and there because I think that we need to learn how to cook cheap. and how to feed our families nutritious meals, or somewhat nutritious. I don't know how nutritious you can get out of a can, but you know what I'm saying. So that we can make sure that during these hard times we've got enough food to feed our families. I'm also going to, this weekend, I'm going to try to do some little pies, or to use up some of my blackberry pie filling that I canned. And I also want to do something with showing how to preserve, like I keep telling you, we all say stock up, stock up, stock up. And then we don't tell you how to use it. So I'm going to show you a few ways to preserve, you know, flour and sugar, and maybe a couple other things too. I do have, I call an air sucker. But you can actually get air out pretty good just by keep squeezing it out, so that even if you don't have one of those machines, you can still do it. So those are pretty translucent. I'm going to add my tomatoes. These are diced tomatoes. I guess you could use stewed tomatoes too, but I personally don't like stewed tomatoes that well. I like to know that what I'm tasting is a tomato and not, I don't know. It's just personal things. It must be with texture or something. And maybe that's because that's what my mom and grandma used. And like I say, I couldn't believe that when I went to go look this up online, there were so many recipes for it. I really thought that it was just some northern thing that my mom and grandma threw together, and obviously it wasn't. I am going to do something, though, that I seen on one of the recipes because I thought it looked pretty cool, and so I want to try it too. So we're going to let that cook just for a couple seconds. We're up to 87 subscribers, you guys. My sister's up to 21, so we're cruising. We're doing great. Obviously, you know, your goal is to get to 1,000, you know, or more. And, you know, it isn't even just about that. You know, sure, you'd like to be monetized and make money, and that'd be a great thing, whatever. But honestly, I don't feel that's what I was called for. I think it was because food is my language of love. My neighbor, Crystal, she's right. It is my language of love. And if you come to my house, you will never leave hungry. I don't care how young I was. People never left my house hungry. If you do, it's because you choose to, because that's how we were raised. And people, you know, you always offer something to eat or drink or whatever, and that's how I was raised. But especially with times the way that they are, I really think we need to learn new ways to budget and to feed our families, because I seen a TikTok video, and this lady, she was cussing big time. It cost her $95 to fill her car. And she said, so what do I do? She goes, do I fill my car or do I eat? And she goes, I have to go to work so I can pay my bills. It's sad that we actually even have to make that decision. And I remember being out on my own when I was very young and having to make that decision. Being down to a box of cornflakes with no sugar and no milk. You know, I have been there, and I've done it with 2 kids too. Not quite that bad, but, you know, it was not good. So I think that we need to learn how to make our families meals for a lot less money, and so that it's filling and our kids aren't going to bed hungry. We live in the United States. You wouldn't think that that would ever happen. We're supposed to be the greatest country in the world, and you would never think that we'd have starving people here, and actually we do. We have people way up in the mountains that they don't even have refrigeration or anything else. It's scary, and it frustrates me so much. But so I'm hoping that we can learn something different, and I hope that we can share that knowledge. You know, like if you learn something on my channel, I want you to share it. And not just because that's great for me, but because I want you to teach your friends how they can do the same things to make sure that their families are eating well and in a budget too. So it's not, money isn't always the ulterior motive. Although most people think it is, it's not. So now I'm going to add it to the noodles. sink because it's very, very hot. Switch that over here. I got a new set about 3 years ago, and do you think I've even gotten it out of the basement? No. And this one's probably seen its better days, but I really like it. I like the color. It matches my kitchen. Now, the one thing that you want to do with this stuff is you want to make sure you season it really good with salt and pepper. Not so much salt, but pepper. Because there goes stuff on my floor again. Now, in this recipe I seen online, I thought, oh, that looks gross. But then I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, you know, I kind of like that. Let's try it. Like I say, I don't use as much salt because there's salt in everything that we have. You know, the tomatoes, everything. Their secret ingredient was ketchup. So I'm going to put a little bit of ketchup in there. I mean, it's tomato. Why not, right? And I think it's for the color, but also for the taste. Now, my sister's husband likes this, but you have to put hamburger in it. And if you put hamburger in it, to me, it's goulash. It's no longer tomato and noodles. Alrighty. Looks yummy. Now, tomorrow I'm not going to be cooking a dinner video because, well, I might do one of the potato salad I'm making. But I am going to try to do a couple of baking videos, so we should have those. I probably won't videotape the bread since you guys already seen me do that, but I'm gonna try my attempt at pie crust. So I always like to find stuff to keep me busy while the husband's away, because he's gone on a regular day 10 hours, on long days 14. So it's nice to spend some time with him when he's here. Alright, so time to taste test. I don't know, you guys, and I'm kidding. That lady's right. The ketchup really does add a little bit of something to it. That's really good. And not just because I made it. Alright, let's show you so I don't forget that again. That's the tomato noodles. And actually, there's probably enough there to feed 5 people, maybe more. And then we got our hot dogs. So of course I'll leave the ketchup out because we'll use the ketchup on the hot dogs. So anyways, I have to boil some potatoes and a few more eggs because I forgot to save some back. But I will come back to show you the potato salad I'm going to make. And that way he can kind of have a cold meal because it's supposed to be hot as heck tomorrow too. Here in Michigan, we're running about 92 to 95 degrees. And it's only June. I cannot even imagine what it's going to be like July or August. It's going to be horrible. But anyways, I'll get this video uploaded. As my saying goes, you may not be able to find blessings, but you can be one. You can be a blessing to anybody, whether it's a neighbor, a friend, a stranger. Do you know how many times, like, I've been in a bad mood and I go to the gas station and especially when a young kid does it, and they open the door and you look at them and you're like, thank you, and you can't help but smile because somebody took that time for you. Whether, you know, my kids, I brought them up to do that. They shake a man's hand when they meet him, a firm shake, not that little whimsy shake. And they always open the door for anybody when they see him coming through the stores. And actually, my son is teaching his boys the same way. I like that. There's a lot to say about respect. So anyways, Tom will be home soon and we'll be having dinner, and I'll see you later, you guys. I am really having fun with you guys. I really hope you enjoy my videos too. And I hope for many blessings for all of you and peace. Have a great day.